On to the next one, though. We head up to gold tier. It's Hornet, who had a bye week 1 versus Calamay, who lost the first week match to Magic Doer 3-7.
And I think it is actually silver. The gold graphic is on there. But I think this was actually no, not your bad. No worries, but they're gold in our hearts, and that's why we show them as gold for sure. But yeah, this will be a silver match, but I think that it'll be. I'm assuming it's updated anyways. Are we
honorary
going on break,
gold,
Wrestler?
we'll call it.
Are we doing the break, or I forget if we are just going right on through?
Straight on through. Hornet versus Calamay.
Awesome, and I think we didn't. I don't think we had a draft for this one. Oh no, they didn't. They didn't do the. We didn't get the bans and restricts. Right. That's the thing we didn't get, or did they just? Yeah. Did they actually decline? Got it. Okay. So just as a clarification on the screen, we don't know what their bans and restricts are. You can decline. You can just do it. And oftentimes, if one player declines, then the other player also just like, sure, I'll decline too. Just pick anything. So no intel on their preferences for the bans and restricts, but we do get to see their picks all the same. We got library and pub, pretty opposite maps, about the most opposite that you can get, arguably. I guess for maybe balcony, it's more opposite than library. But nice and big, super lots of time versus very tight time window, much trickier. And then ballroom and courtyard, much more like very standard, very normal picks in here. Any thoughts, Tobo?
It's always interesting to see how ballroom goes, because ballroom is one of those venues that is as old as time, by which I mean as old as this game. It literally was the first venue that was ever created for SpyParty, so lots of people know it very well. And it's just a very interesting venue. Lots of moving cover, lots of improvisation. You tend to see the really strong spies put up some pretty impressive showings on this venue in particular.
Agreed. No, and fully agree. The dynamic cover on Ballroom is, even though it's an old venue, it doesn't feel old. It is very fresh and it just keeps on giving great games. So completely agreed. But first, we will have to strike through library and see how they handle that. I am curious to see how they approach.
It's going to be Hornet starting things off on the spy side of library for his first game of the season versus Calamay's Sniper in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And thanks for keep reminding us about the bye, because that is really interesting, right? When you have the bye and you start in like week 2 when the other person, Calamay didn't have a bye, right? So this is Calamay's second game, or sorry, second set. Cool. Yeah, and I am curious what happens to that, because like I for sure didn't really practice before my like get back in the groove. Most of my practice came from just prepping for that first match, and so sometimes there can be some definite rust you got to shake off. So I'm curious how that happens for these players for sure.
Well, rust or not, they're definitely not rusty on the action tests, as immediately coming in with a 51% green flirt.
And you're right, that's got to feel good.
Yeah, suspected double agent is here as well, so that real DA was never joining the conversation as much as we may have wanted him to. But it looks like we are going to sit here and see if we can get the flirt done in 2 with the timer flirt. Here we go. Doesn't hit the second green, it's 85%.
Got it. And then we maybe could join our seduction target at books if we wanted to. It looks like we're going to go to statues first. We're going to go to middle statues, so we are going to opt into probably a highlight here as we stick around. Boots does have pretty quick statue animations, though, so we are going to risk a 3 cycle, but we hit lots of greens in here. It's not going to be a problem at all.
Yeah. Hornet is on it with the green test right now. This is awesome.
Yeah, agreed. And so, like you said, like that's one of the things that sometimes can be kind of rusty is just starting to get into that kind of groove. But Hornet, I'm going to imagine, also probably just has a pretty decent green test rate. And speaking of which,
Yeah.
we don't need a green test for this one, so not that important. But we have some nice little reflexes in here, and we're here barely long enough for that flirt. So really inconspicuous end of flirt. And we have the middle statues, which we didn't get highlight for, but almost certainly would be on Calamay's mind if they caught it. But right now, we're through two of the most time-consuming parts and about to pick up a third mission.
Banana bread.
Indeed. There's the contact. Flirt already done. Inspect already done. Still 2 minutes and 30 to play. 2 more missions to get. A decent reaction off of the contact, but you often just can't get that much information out of it, or that many lowlights at least, because you can never really tell who was walking when they were off camera at the moment it happened, because people do some quick banana splits sometimes to try to fish lowlights when the sniper's on the opposite end of the venue. So 4 lowlights, now 5 isn't too bad. We are able to get a print off of the briefcase, which is always nice, so that's probably going to be one of the remaining 2 missions. Let's see what they do with the last one.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe green bookshelf. Nope, looks like we're passing. Oh, nope, we are going to take a hard left into green bookshelf. I was thinking that because we did seem to be watching green. I don't know if this is a difficult or a normal fingerprint though. It is just normal fingerprint. Somebody put a book back like right at the same time as Ambassador. Couldn't tell if they smudged it or not. But this is going to be fingerprint done, and we do took the book out. So if we wanted to, we could just transfer it to end on this one. It's always a little bit risky to take a book out, do a transfer on fingerprint, just because presumably it draws a little more attention when you go there in the first place. But we do enough time to do, any of the last 4 missions we want. And Ambassador is on the way back to Green Bookshelf if we want to just do a natural little bug path on the way in.
Yeah, I think bug is the hope. If we're not able to line up the bug well, maybe this book goes all the way over to the yellow. Well, there's that opportunity taken away from us. It is blue. It's going to go right back into the bookcase that she was near rather than trying to go all the way back, and it works out beautifully. The laser does not swing anywhere nearly in time. We stop walking before we have any suspicion of a bug, and Hornet gets it done beautifully from his first spy game of the season.
Yeah, no, completely agree. The patience on the ending where we're trying to figure out what we could do. So we had options for the Ambassador, and the Ambassador either stays there, comes towards us, maybe we do the bug. But Ambassador joins Toby on the far side and just draws up all the attention to the green and yellow side of the map, and we're able to dump in blue. So well sequenced, and I don't think Calamay was on top of us at all that game.
It's always beautiful to see spies who are able to take advantage of the natural sight lines of where the party is leading the sniper and get things done away from there. It's like being able to be cognizant of that kind of thing is a hallmark of a pretty strong spy.
Absolutely, especially on library where you got to get it done.
Speaking of library, back in we go. It's Calamay on the spy side this time versus Hornet Sniper in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Bouncing around just a little bit. We might also get a flirt and middle statue in here. It looks like we're just opting for the flirt and no statues. So we're on our way out. Are we going to bug too? We don't, but we might get a little bit of credit for it just bumping into him a few times, but no highlight yet, so it doesn't seem like we've been credited with it.
Well, especially with this character in particular, that bug with the cane hand can be very hard to spot as we step in the blue bookcase. We were able to get 51% on the green test on that early, oh dear. I got very nervous when the laser swung back in the middle of that animation transfer. It was a white test, so that head turn can be fairly noticeable, but it didn't get caught as far as we can tell. So blue microfilm in pocket, and 51% on the flirt is where we stand. This is not in range for a standing bug, even though it's fairly close. Now we're in range as we twitch over. The bug comes off clean.
Yeah, I do think that we did get this one off clean. So what's funny is if we were being looked at kind of around the time where I think where if we were close enough we would have just done a standing bug, but we actually have to reposition it. But because of that time window, it does seem to work out for us. So what's interesting is this highlight. Is I just don't really know what this highlight is for. We did a queen also picked up a highlight at the blue bookshelf, so it could be a shelf differentiation light. Um, but if it was like a delayed bug highlight, we might have already been suspected for bugs. So this game's kind of still like up there. Like normally, I'd say if we get a bug and a microfilm clean, I'd be like, oh, well, this game looks really, really strong. But because of the uncertainty I have around this highlight, could still be tricky. And here's a big moment.
Animation transfer, another white test. Again, the laser just barely catching the tail end of it. Isn't able to see anything suspicious for it, actually knocks it back down to neutral lights. And this is looking much better for Calamay than it was a moment ago. Into center statues we go to get that highlight back again.
Yeah, exactly. The obviously a wonderful indication for us that it went down and then up because it means that we weren't unflexible. Highlights are obviously a terrible sign for the spy. We are getting zoomed in for the swap just because we are worried about center visitors, and it actually is kind of early in the game though to be super worried about swap. So there's some concern about us for sure. We'll see how that parses out with presumably the. Are we gonna grab this briefcase? Is that why we came in here? Why are we in here? What are we doing here?
Sure. Either way, we've got the bug done, we've got the transfer done, we've got the inspects done, we've got 51% on the flirt, and a fake contact has been performed in an attempt, I believe, to try to distract from the bug. Minute and 40 left to play. We're in a pretty good position here, mission-wise, for Calamay. We'll see what the suspicion is like as we try to finish up these last pair of missions.
Yeah, so I assume we're gonna go try to join our seduction target. They're gonna redirect though, so they're coming back towards us. So it probably means we hang out the bookshelves, or sorry, not bookshelves, the windows. They're gonna return book, perhaps. Yeah, so we could join them at green, but we probably don't want to because that's the only bookshelf we haven't transferred at. So probably don't want to go and spread too much concern there.
Instant watch check to try to buy a bit more time at windows. Wound up staying there for quite a while before feeling the need to step away. Was hanging out a bit too long, trying to wait and see where the seduction target would wind up.
Yeah, it looks like we're really trying to predict where the seduction target goes. So we keep buying time in this. So we walked away from a conversation, sorry, from the windows, faked a redirect, tried to like we were in front of our seduction target, so we were trying to anticipate it. By the way, we do get that flirt in, so we are done with flirt entirely here. And presumably we would love for the double agent to join us, but as you pointed out in a different game, double agent cannot join us because there's an SD in our conversation. So that will be for not. And in fact, double agent's going to go to statues or no pad, so it's not as bad as statues. But we're probably going to be swapping.
It looks like a swap. There it is. Statue swap has occurred. Hornet on the other end of the venue. 4 seconds. He's not looking. He sees it now, but there's no time to react, and Calamay fights back from the spy side.
Yes. So that game was just like Hornet did see us. We were on the mind of Hornet during several parts of that game, but never the part where we were actually doing something. So it was just really interestingly like it felt like a fencing match because Hornet was really on top of us for certain things, really was looking at us, considering us, highlighting us, playing with our lights a little bit, looking maybe for the initial bug, but we did the microfilms barely in time not to get caught both of the times. We had that fake contact into us stepping over and doing the banana bread during the lowlights. And then, of course, we have the swap at the end there, which just caught just slightly too late. So very close game, but props to Calamay for just making it happen.
Spy wins from both players on the first couple games of Library is not something you see all that often. Let's see if Hornet is able to do it again in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Oh, yeah, this is going to be interesting. Purloin shenaniganry to start the game, trying to get it done away
I think we're dead.
Prying eyes, but I think that got far too caught. for Hornet to be able to get away with that one. They're going to be by far the top suspect for the rest of the game.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that Toby hung out there for a little bit. Sometimes you get the first purloin, you get it like a weird little spot, and then Tony kind of books it, and then doesn't kind of sell you out by kind of standing around looking around with the list gone. So a little bit unfortunate there. It is one of those spots where when Toby turns around at that particular painting, or sorry, not painting pad, the statue pad, the bust pad. He turns around fully and kind of shows the sniper a little bit. Contact does go off though.
Yeah, 25% on the flirt and the contact, but honestly, at this point, the missions are no longer the story of the game. It's just watching the sniper and seeing how on top of Hornet they are. They're certainly not tunneling them. They're still doing their due diligence and playing this like it's a regular game. I just don't think Hornet has much of a chance to fly under the radar anymore. They're going to have to play this pretty much perfectly to get the win here.
Yeah, I'm really curious about these highlights on Wheels and Disney. I actually, so to be totally honest, I don't love us actually just taking a ton of lowlights. I kind of make this mistake myself sometimes, or at least I perceive this as a mistake, which is if we see something really like what feels really obvious, like actually just purloin. Just think about purloin. You see a purloin happen really early. You're pretty sure about someone. Just keep them highlight and just play the rest of the lights normal, because if something weird happened, then it might be a low light, because you're kind of playing into the fact that if everything's normal, I have won this game. It is this person for sure. The low lights don't really help you that much. Unless you're low lighting for people like that could never have ever touched it, but my reflexes, like just low light a ton of people, just eliminate them. But anyways, I do think this game is probably pretty much done for them, but I do want to note that because I don't like it when I do that.
Green test on the second flirt from a bit of a distance brings up to 58%. This might be in range for the 3 flirt if they hit the green here. It is, and they do. So the flirt is done at this point. 2 minutes to play. But now is when we start having to make some more visible decisions.
Yeah, and Calamay is playing with their laser a little bit, like they're zipping back and forth a little bit, where they'll. It's less obvious from the laser perspective on the spy side, but like we are definitely coming back and lingering stuff like that. Like there's not much for them to try to do in the blind spots right here. I guess they're just trying to maybe bait statue visit out, which they're gonna go to books. So this is a nice moment in here where Calamay's probably gonna look away, snap back, look away, snap back. Yep, look away, and then snap back. All right, now look away. Nope, we're just keeping on the screen a little bit. Look away, and then snap back. Okay, they don't do anything, so that's actually might be putting a little bit of concern into Calamay's mind, because they were trying to bait right there.
Absolutely, they were trying to see if they could catch an animation transfer, but the fact that they didn't even take out the book and spent a lot of time there might make them feel a little bit nervous. I thought they were going to go to yellow bookcases there, which would have been concerning, but it's going to be center statues instead, and Calamay's not having any of that.
Yeah, there's no reason to play with your food at that point. Like, it would have been nice. It would have probably felt the best to try to catch the transfer, but Hornet must have felt that they were being watched. I'm actually kind of surprised they noticed that they were being watched enough that they really couldn't even take the book out. So yeah. Good on Hornet right there. They might have just kind of known from the beginning that was gonna be a tough one to win, but it's okay to take those stabs. Library, tough to win a spy anyway. If you maybe hit that green at the start, that might have just been a totally different game. Or sorry, it would have been a totally different game.
Absolutely. But center statue is just a little bit too dangerous to let slide. And Calamay goes up 2-1 as they step into the spy side of library in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Looks like we're going to do an early time ad. Indeed, we
white
do.
Time ad. You'll love to see it.
Yes. And we are going to fake right away. Are we going to try to... unfortunately, we had a drink in our hand. I think we wanted to bug there. So like the first game, I think we wanted to fake contact into bug.
Speaking
we are going to bug the way in.
Oh my god, what a beautiful piece of cheese that was. Out for the bug, takes it, and right back where they came from. It doesn't look like they've done anything as long as the sniper doesn't move and they stay off screen. But when they that's exactly what happened. The sniper didn't move, so that bug comes off completely clean.
What's funny is we're not even being seen for these inspects yet. I would be tempted to actually try to just, yes,
Yeah,
yes, awesome, nice job. That's exactly what you should do. Don't even go for the next inspect. Just get out of here. We might not even get inspect credit. That was actually well done. Because it's really
one
hard to
cycle and
throw,
step away.
to not get that other inspect sometimes.
This is such a strong start from Calamay. They're playing this incredibly well. Took a risk on the bug that the sniper wouldn't snap back to pay too much attention to it because they were in a fairly safe spot. Were able to get away with the bug pretty cleanly, and now that little move on the inspects, it's just a very good position as they step into conversation with the double agent looking to pick up this contact.
Yeah, what's funny about this is, okay, we are just gonna go for the set inspect. I don't actually. This is not my favorite follow up to this. If we get away from inspects entirely clean, it's just kind of nice not to be a highlight at all. So we're risking maybe being highlight here. We're actually not really being looked at. I could tell. It seems like at least. So maybe we get away entirely without these statues being noticed, which would be really really huge. But did feel like a tiny bit of a risk there, given how well the path looked for us on the way out, which would be context seduce. I guess we do have to do one more thing in there, but
Weird pathing, unfortunately. I think they actually stayed at statues a split second too long, so just barely started the third cycle before they put it down for no real reason, just, I think, mistimed the putback. Either way, we finally managed to track down this seduction target for the first flirt, and you weren't even able to get that close to it. It's only 28%. That's a
yeah, now
green
we're gonna have to,
purloin, though.
there it is. So I was to say we're gonna have to start thinking about what our final mission is gonna be. So obviously, if we're not immediately one of the top
Banana
suspects for
bread.
this one, there's gonna be a banana bread that has a ghost.
Contact come off to
Well,
try to distract. The purloin happens. We have a good look at the tray, so we know the list is gone. But Calamay is up and gone, and there was a person in the reject chain as well.
yeah, and Wheels left right after taking the drink, so it looks like a banana bread, purloin, ditch to bust, and he double sips too. Honestly, Wheels looks guilty as hell right now, so I would not be surprised if we one. I think this game's just going to end before Wheels any problem, but I think Wheels is going to soak up all of our attention the rest of this game. I don't think we're going to be catching the seductions.
Second flirt comes off, a close one to bring us up to 62%. We do still need a green to finish it in 3, but we have 2 minutes, and all we need to do is finish this flirt. Calamay in an absolutely commanding position here. Something would have to go very wrong for them to lose this game.
Yes, absolutely. And so, first of all, good on Hornet for not just shooting Wheels. They know that they have a lot of game left to play. So they are just keeping tabs on Wheels, but they are tunneling for sure. And the game should be over. Like you're saying, I guess technically we do, if we hit White Flirt, we have to talk twice, and like maybe if seduction target is being really just a pain, something could go just drastically wrong. But Wheels is just getting tunneled so hard that it feels very good. But we do got to go do it. So we are just kind of hanging out here, and we do need to go actually go finish flirt. So I don't know what we're doing here.
We've spent a lot of time, or we've spent like a full minute hanging out in this conversation. 1 minute left to play. Seduction on the other end of the venue right now, and we're not sure we're going to be able to get this done in one more flirt. We need to mosey. That's exactly what Calamay has realized. I don't think we're going to be able to easily get in a good position for this flirt. We don't necessarily need to be that close. This is close enough if we hit the green, but we don't hit the green. It's 95%. 35 seconds to play, and we need another flirt. So Calamay has to step away from it, let the cooldown expire a little bit faster, and step back in once we're done with this book. It's going to be a little bit suspicious looking, but I don't think we have enough heat on us for it to matter. But if the seduction steps away and things get a little bit more dicey, hopefully they're hanging around at the windows long enough to be contacted. They do check their watch, which buys us a bit of extra time, and with just barely over 10 seconds to play, we get the last flirt done.
Yeah, that actually that ended up being closer than we thought, but then the end of the game transfer right at the end. That it was closer than we thought. So good on Calamay for getting that done. Had like you said, if General left Windows at that point, it was actually gonna get real dicey. So
Or if
close.
General kept walking past the windows and wound up way on the yellow side, that could have been dicey as well.
Oh yeah, you're right. Because like if we just went to, let's say, far conversation circle, there'd be OT at the very least, and that would have been tricky.
Either way, Calamay gets it done on the spy side, up 3-1. Moving into the next venue, it's Pub, any 3 of 7. Let's get this underway. Hornet on the spy side first in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, really curious how they play. So this is obviously a big change in the pace from library to pub here. So we'll see how it is. We stay under AI control for just a little bit, but not super long. We're going to be going for really long flirt, which is not going to be great because we're really close to 2 other people. So it looks like we could be flirting with Smallman or Pony, but we're not going to get that much benefit from it. But, a flirt's a flirt, and we still got to get parts of it done.
Yeah, setting up on the opposite end of the conversation from the selection target on the first flirt, especially when there are other people right nearby, is a bit of an odd decision. Leads to a 25% on the white flirt for the first one, but they're not going to have the option for the timer flirt because the section target steps away. Not that we wanted it anyways at that distance, but that is going to force our hand.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have Ambassador near us. Like right now, the spot that Ambassador is at, is Rocket gonna come force him out? I think she is. Yeah, she is gonna force Ambassador out. I actually don't know if that was a force right there. Probably looks like a natural leaf. But anyways, if Ambassador gets stuck in the front like that and just hangs out there for a long time, that's actually really bad on short time pub because bug is one of the best ways for snipers to get paranoid about missing something. So was good for Ambassador to get start moving around, and he's gonna be moving around again here soon. Now he's getting forced out by SDA, so Ambassador is gonna be a bit more active than it looked like a minute ago.
Quick chase to the selection target, and we get up to 76%. Contact comes off as well as the double agent drops in to say hi.
Yeah, we do have the option for this timer flirt. So, of course, what the last thing is going to be a little bit tricky in here. If we don't think the flirt has been watched too carefully, we can, of course, just dare the sniper to shoot and go to statues, which very well might be the case. I think if we finish this flirt here, I think we'll be hard pressed not to.
We do get it done on the green test. Now, keep in mind, that first flirt may be paying dividends now because none of the people we're next to right now were the people we were next to in our first flirt. We haven't been next to either of them, I think, since the start of the game. So we might not be being looked at too heavily for the flirt itself. 30 seconds left as we head to the back of the pub to take a look at the statue. What's the reaction to this from Calamay? There they are. Highlight for it. Usually means it's not going to be a shot, but we shall see. They're looking for a swap that's not coming. Do they take the shot off the inspect? They do indeed. With about a second and a half left on the clock, the shot comes off, and Calamay extends their lead even further.
That's a great shot. I don't fully. I'm not sure which. There's a few possible reasons we could do that. One of them is there's a little bit of a spy-like thing where if you think that this is a game where there's going to be inspect, contact, flirt are going to be the set of missions, Ponytail going to the statues and kind of like Irish looks like they're kind of aiming for it, but then their spot is taken, so they have to go to the back ones. Between the two of them, because the other one is kind of forced down that down that Gantt chart into this position, I do agree with the shot. Out of the two of them, Irish is more suspicious, and it seemed like we felt like we had to shoot one of them. We didn't know which one, and I think they absolutely picked the right criteria there.
Calamay into the spy side, up 4-1 versus Hornet Sniper in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And who knows, maybe there is a little bit of rust coming out of Hornet. They had that great first game on the spy side, but haven't been able to get anything since.
Yeah, it definitely could be there because Hornet is a strong player, and when they're in shape, They've taken games off of really, really top players, so definitely could be rushed in here, but they have an opportunity still to drag it back, so they got to lock in. Unfortunately, they're going to have to lock in on a massive bar rush.
Yeah, massive bar rush indeed. Calamay gets in on that, and with a 51% flirt with his seduction target for his troubles. It's a good starting position for Calamay, even if they were almost the last 1-2 bar. Apparently, they were the last 1-2 bar, and they give up on the drink entirely, heading into this back statue for the only inspect on this venue.
Yeah, this could really pay off. So we are giving up our position in this really dangerous purloin. But if Calamay was never going to purloin, just didn't want to do it, this actually kind of makes it seem like we're walking over the briefcase a little bit. It makes it seem like it's less likely that it could be us, and we do get the low light because we got brought down from not being a person that could potentially purloin. That said, we really do want to make this happen sooner rather than later, because as soon as the purloin doesn't happen after the 45 seconds elapse from that first little rush in there should be a big question mark in Hornet's head about why didn't the purloin come off. They had so much cover. It was a really good opportunity to purloin. What has happened?
Yeah, that's trying to find the answer to that question is very difficult to backtrack to, especially so long after it's happened. But 85% on the flirt right now. We have the inspect done. We are not in conversation with the double agent, so we'll need to track them down at some point. There's the flirt done at this point. 55
Yeah, we mind
seconds to
controlled
play.
the hell out of Red back into this conversation circle. There was barely any space left. Red went to bar, came back, we got her flirt done, and it's actually really great pacing on that. And you're completely right. We just got to finish this contact, and then I guess basically it's a dare shot again.
In with the double agent we go. A nice, sparse conversation, not something that looks dangerous. But the double agent bails on us before we're able to take the contact. 25 seconds to play, and this just got a lot more dicey.
It did, and we're going to be going near Ambassador, so we might just consider bugging on this thing in here because we are going to be, we are trying to avoid looking like we're bugging so hard. Oh, we can't get in the conversation circle. We can't get in the conversation circle. Tragic.
Our spot
Tragic.
got taken right at the end.
We got a bug. We got a
There's
bug. We got a bug.
Ambassador drops in to say hi. I'm to bail us out, but we needed him to keep walking. We needed him to walk right on by and try to get that behind the back type of bug. But the ambassador did stop. The arm just very clearly went out, and there's once you lose that chance at the double agent, I think there wasn't really an opportunity to come back into that one.
Yeah, that is so sad. And the thing is, that conversation looks like there should be a gap, but there's just like just enough spacing that it was gonna be tough. I think honestly, maybe the biggest pocket they had was between Ambassador and General, but that would have looked crazy suspicious. So a little bit unfortunate there for Calamay, but it really did come down to not taking the banana bread when we went into it the first time. Like I get waiting, not wanting to do it right away, right after you get in there, but that is absolutely the risk that can happen with just 30 seconds left.
Yeah. Waited just a little bit too long, and with the timer running out like that, you can't always afford to be as polite as you want to be with the spy. Every second you wait is a risk, and that showed it off perfectly. Calamay, not able to get that game done from the spy side. They head into the sniper as Hornet picks one up and is now in the spy shoes in the second round of pub in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And absolutely, that could give Hornet some life back because if Hornet wasn't going to shoot Duke in that game, if there was a contact, sometimes being down but then kind of getting gifted a game can really put the wind back in your sails. And Pub is absolutely sweepable in here, so it's absolutely possible that we come out of this tied up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Hornet as Smallman. This is not a venue where Smallman is nearly as big of a risk as he usually is, but he can do specifically this. Hiding behind two people. This is such an opportunistic move. I love to see it. I think he's going to get away with this clean.
We are here for kind of a long time. So we opted to do the inspect as well, which is It's not like it's unclear about what the right choice in that one, because getting a full second mission is pretty huge. It looks like it's going to pay off, to be clear. Like this looks like it. If we just flirt and we get this game, that's just done. I'm almost tempted to say just go contact, but um, if we got away with it, why pressure it? Just do it. So
And then the
this
double
feels like a
agent
one game.
double agent walks in to body block the statue as we step away from it as well. And now we're just flirting. A distant green for 38% to start things off. That's all you need.
Yeah, the question now is whether or not. So here is the risk of going with the slower play: is if Calamay got any vision of the statue from the start, if Calamay goes back and checks, especially now that Twin is picking up statues in the back, and then
Banana
notices,
bread.
oh, here's the contact. Okay, so big moment here because Twin is out and picked up the swapped statue. Doesn't look like there's a reaction. This looks like a one game for Hornet, to be clear.
Yeah, just no play for Calamay there. Didn't get the look at the early statue there. Wasn't able to find a way back into that. Hornet played it very well and are able to get the win from the spy side to bring it back up 3-4. They're almost level.
Yeah, I didn't even notice at the very beginning of this game that Double Agent had picked up that statue. Um, so it was, I guess I thought like we were trying to maybe credit like with a partial like swap thing, right? But it was a known Double Agent, so we knew that we didn't have to look at the statue. Maybe that's why we didn't memorize, because it's not that the statue was super early, the swap. It was just in the first like 15. It was early, but it wasn't trying to get it in before the sniper could have possibly memorized. So interesting play in there, worked out beautifully, and now Hornet really is carved to a comeback.
Yeah, they certainly are. Sniper side of Pub is where they plan to draw this match level. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Clip a little bit on it, but doesn't really matter. And Ambassador is going to drop a fingerprint at the front here, and there's not really much activity outside of that. So this is going to be very guardable for Hornet. They do have to worry about a little bit in the background here, but they should really be looking for highlight the Purloin takers, make sure that's Tex isn't swapping, and then look for flirts in the front.
Calamay opens the festivities with a 51% green flirt. And then the Ambassador does that.
Banana bread.
And we take a contact to try to distract a little bit. I thought maybe we were going to try to take a bug off the back of it, but no. Just drawing away the sniper's eyes.
Yeah, I'm curious if that was actually priorities.
Agent drops in to say hi as well, which is interesting. And the Ambassador's back.
Banana bread.
Are we gonna do
Standing
this?
bug.
We are. Oh,
Gets
but he's
caught.
caught. We like fool me once, right? Shame on me. And we do get caught on the second time. Also, at this point, it looks like it's a little bit of a habit that Hornet might have picked up on that Calamay really likes to. So it looks like they like to fake and then to contact and then cover it with bugs. So neat play, but Hornet responds really well, and as mentioned, sweepable map. We're back even.
Yeah, that looked like a much more covered position from the spy side than it did from the sniper's angle. So might have just been a trick of the eye, made me think that was a little bit cleaner of a position than it actually was. We're level at 4, heading into Ballroom with Hornet on the spy side to start things off. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, I'm also curious if one thing that might help out with some of the things that Calamay really leans into is doing a Twitch walking bug. Because I think that they would benefit from some of these. That position with white, if we twitched during an idle animation and we went for that same kind of bug, we wouldn't have the lean, because Hornet looked like they were baiting out the lean, and it would have been much more difficult to see a little twitch motion rather than their kind of obvious standing bug.
Well, this game just starts off pretty quietly, hanging out with the seduction target in a relatively light conversation, 30% off of the first flirt. 30%, 31% without moving on the second. So that brings up the 61 total. We're going to need a close green if we want to finish this up in 3. Not necessarily a close green, but a green test to be sure. Not a lot of movement and not a lot of progress coming out of Hornet at the start of this game.
Yeah, we have burned a little bit of time here at the front, and unfortunately, I don't feel like there's been much party activity for us to like really gain from that. Sometimes you burn some time doing the first flirts, but you get to take your time and watching what everyone else is doing. Not that much has really happened outside of this. Now Taft, this is an interesting thing. That return by Taft was kind of an interesting spot, and Taft is already highlit, so Taft might be among some of the higher suspects in here. So we'll have to put a pin in that and see if that comes back. But other than that, not too many suspects.
Picking up a print off of the green bookcase and back into conversation with the seduction target, not even trying to be in range for the 3 flirt at this point, just taking a honestly perfectly distanced white test on the flirt there, brings up to 83%, which means literally any flirt will finish it up at that point. That's a pretty nice bug on the way into conversation with the double agent. So that's 1 mission down. Minute and 10 left to play. So the timer's a problem, but there's the contact coming off for the second. We have a print in pocket and 1 more flirt to go. This is very doable.
Yeah, I think Hornet would have preferred a green test there so that we could have gotten that fingerprint that Rocker just returned to Ambassador. But luckily, Ambassador is also in a conversation with our seduction target, so it sequences pretty well. Are we going to try to pearl in here, though? We do not. We are probably going all in on trying to finish flirt and seduce. We do probably want to position ourselves, though. Ambassador has set the briefcase down, so we know that it's going to be in that conversation circle. I would like us to be going over and finishing it there now. So we are going to be going over here. We're going to be trying to make sure that it doesn't look like a bug. We're going to have a nice... Oh, but see, this is the thing. Seduction target now leaves. So they do leave to a conversation that's really nearby. But now we need 2 things to happen. We need to actually go over and make actually Ambassador leave. Honestly, we probably did want to bump Ambassador out. So we're going to Purloin instead.
Purloin comes off. God. 5 seconds. The reaction to the Purloin is here. The flirt has come off. It's going to be 5 seconds of overtime. In we go for the shot, but it's not the right one. Calamay wasn't able to catch out the Purloin or the surrounding shenaniganry, and Hornet comes back from 4-1 to 5-3.
Yeah, no, that's unfortunate for Calamay there that we couldn't capitalize on that, because other than that, that was just a really great game. Like, if we were able to get the fingerprint and seduce done, that's just a really tough game for any level of SpyParty. If you miss that bug, which General has a great walking bug exactly in that position, that was just gonna be tricky. The Purloin was our only way back into that. We almost got bailed out by this confluence of seduction target leaving and Ambassador staying. But no dice on that one. We just shoot somebody with a drink.
And that puts Hornet up by 1 for the first time since the first game of the set. They step into the sniper side versus Calamay's Spy in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
That's actually happened for, at least it's happened for both players, that they get some late game unfortunate leaves in their conversation circles, and each of them lose that one. Calamay had the ditch from waiting too long on the contact, and Hornet had the seduction target leave after waiting probably a little bit too long on trying to go finish that seduction target. So they get burned in similar ways at the very least.
I just wanted to make a quick note. I believe the scoreboard is wrong. Hornet won that last game, not Calamay, so they are the ones who are currently up. 62% off of 2 very quick flirts as well, so that's a strong start from Calamay.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ambassador's leaving a fingerprint back here. And ooh, actually, if I was sniping this, I would be worried about Papa Danger. That was a very Papa Danger bug path. It was not them, right? They, of course, are AI, But that was a great angle for Papa Danger's kind of bug. His arms, neither one of his arms actually have that bad of a snapback because it keeps his other arm also kind of stable. So I'd be a little bit worried about that one. So we'll see if that comes back at all as well. But there's much more activity in this game than we had in the early part of Hornet's game. So Calamay really could strike on this one.
Was in conversation with the double agent for a long time there, but it was such a thin conversation that it's probably a good thing they didn't try to take anything from it. Able to go in for a print on the statue, should be able to get a pair of inspects for their troubles as well, and able to get it down before the third cycle. So lots of progress, even though there's no mission completions as of yet.
Yeah, I saw that maybe there was a temptation on our part here to look at maybe bugging on our way out of statues, but we do indeed go in the opposite direction entirely. Is Ambassador coming forward to his bookcase? Okay, this is interesting. Do we want to bug on our way out? If we walk over, okay, we're not going to do it. We should put this bug back. See, now we're going to smudge this print. That's just unfortunate. I don't think that's a small thing, smudging the print unnecessarily, but it does matter. Maybe the argument is, why would the spy do that? Why would the spy smudge a print? So maybe there's some silver lining in it, but hopefully that doesn't come back to bite us, because we smudged a print that we might have wanted to take.
Indeed. 96% after the third flirt, not able to hit the green on that last one, and back into the same set of statues, but on the other side of it this time around for the last inspect.
We might even swap
cycles
here.
To finish that up. No swap. Purloin shenanigans at the back, though. We were really hoping for a green test here. Just takes the drink and steps away, but that's going to be much more trackable than it would have been otherwise.
Indeed, and seduction targets at the statues. But seduction target leaves because it is crowded. So there's so much statue activity. But seduction target is such a pain. We do have to do something else though. So don't worry about seduction target. You gotta get your other thing done, which is probably gonna be bug.
You gotta go.
Oh no, you're right. It's contact.
And
now where's seduction target? Are they coming in here? They're coming in here.
Seduction target did drop in to say hi, but steps away immediately. The time runs out on Calamay. Hornet holds the shot, and they're up 6-4 with 2 match points.
Oh God, that was almost like insane luck with the. I can't believe how short. I'm trying to justify Seek's leave here. That's such a short stay.
It's just a red test flirt.
Oh, it's red test flirt. Okay, God. Okay, I thought he got ditched in the logs. It's just a red test. Okay, at least that's not luck. Okay, thank God. Okay, so it was our fault. I thought we got somehow like the shortest possible stay an AI could ever have. Somehow I was not paying attention to the fact that it was a red test.
2 games to go. Hornet from 4-1 down to 6-4 up and 2 match points stepping into courtyard. They're on the spy side first in 3, 2, 1 playing it. This is a tough venue for spies who often need a little bit of creativity to make it happen because the common spy pattern is so well practiced and well understood. You often need to break that mold a little bit to get the win on the spy side. We'll see what Hornet's able to do with it as they start off with 32% on the flirt.
Yeah, absolutely. And we started a lot of the games kind of similarly, so I'm curious if I guess that's not true. We had the immediate purloin on library, so we have gone for something in the time of chaos one of the times. Pretty quick contact in here, and we are medium bold with our lowlights in there. We're not going to be looking for real highlights, which is going to benefit us because there would be a lot of them.
Hanging out for the timer flirt, hits the green on the second. It was a bit dangerous to do that because we would have knocked ourselves out of 3 flirt range if we hadn't hit a green here, at least white test 3 flirt range. But we did hit the green. It's 81%. We are well on pace to get this done in 3.
Yeah, just kind of hanging out some more. I mean, pretty common on Courtyard to be able to do this. There's offers across the map, not a ton of statue activity, and then just yeah, hanging out here. And there's also not that many opportunities here. Now there is a little bit of opportunity on this side for something if we wanted to like time add because there's really just all the actions on the other side. But Calamay is swinging both back and forth, so maybe a quick time add wouldn't be the best call. But now that Toby's back over here, could slip over maybe and try to do it if we felt like we needed to because there's been so little activity. I actually kind of would like that.
Yeah, Hornet, the double timer flirt is just a lot of time to spend in one conversation, not getting a ton of progress done, but you did get the contact while you were there. Into statues we go for our pair of inspects, and we are about on pace for, oh goodness, actually, he might get away with that really quickly. That looks like a one cycle based on the timing, and the sniper wasn't in position to catch them for the animation cut. So that's not bad from Hornet. That's a little move that might actually help them out in a big way here.
I 100% agree. The double greens in there, like a lot of the times it doesn't matter what action test you hit on Courtyard, because you can get the pair of inspects, and unless someone's about to pick up the statue, it's not that consequential. But if you're trying to get in and out with both inspects, hitting double greens gives you the opportunity to get out of there with one cycle, so that even if you do leave, it won't be like an animation break, but just maybe behaviorally suspicious. But great on that one. Are we going to bug on our way in here? We are.
We are
we going to catch the
bug our
snapback?
way in here. It wasn't seen by Calamay, I don't think. He takes the highlight for the credit, but isn't willing to take the shot. And Hornet wins the first, loses the next 4, and then wins every other game in the match to take it 7-4. What a performance.
Yeah, and absolutely that could have swung a little bit for Calamay on that one. I do think that Hornet at their competitive best is going to be a lot of trouble for Calamay to beat. But we got really close here, so I actually don't think Calamay will be maybe too sad about this. Like, there's definitely some spots where I guess I could go either way. Basically, Calamay had a good showing versus a strong player. You can take that in a way of like, oh, they were closer to maybe getting a win or a tie versus a player that they would have had a lot of trouble on. Or you can say like, okay, well, even though there was some stuff I could clean up, I probably was going to have trouble versus this player regardless. So hopefully they take it the good way, where if they can put up a showing like this versus Hornet, they've got a good chance versus a lot of other people in silver. And it's also great for Hornet, who might have been coming off a little bit shaky in the initial spots, looking good and strong and able to close out this set.
Absolutely. A great match from both players. It was a joy to watch. And congratulations to Hornet to getting it done. And that is going to do it for us tonight. For those of you who are new here, this game is called SpyParty. You can get it on Steam or at SpyParty.com for $25. If you get it from the website, you get a Steam key as well. So if that's your concern, don't worry about that. If you've been here a little while and are interested in getting into the more competitive side of SpyParty, head over to discord.gg/SpyParty. There's always stuff happening and always interest for getting newer players into the competitive scene. Everyone over there is lovely. It's a great group of folks. Come and say hi. But that's going to do it for us tonight. I hope you had a wonderful evening, and we'll see you next week.
Actually, before we cut that off, hello stream. And there is another cast happening, this time on twitch.tv/SpyParty fans, hosted by the tournament organizer Nebula, and casting alongside Rov. It's gonna be Silver Division yet again, Yash versus Lavinuk, and it's the Diamond Division, the top division, Firelord Ethan, there's Dafhayesh, in around 10 minutes. So quite literally after this cast. So if you want to watch some more compared to SpyParty, it's right around the corner. And now we are done for today. Thank you very much.